What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord Dr. Professor Dark Joker here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are Traditional Fans with Opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. One Piece episode 1136. So this one finishes up the Kuma flashback. So we see basically Kuma's life, during the main events of the series where, we see like his perspective of, Thriller Bark. We see Dragon, I guess, going to Loketown. We see Ace telling Jinbei about Luffy. So it's basically almost like a recap from like of the series from Kuma's perspective up until when he loses his free will, and we see Vegapunk tries to convince Saint Saturn to let him leave some free will for Kuma, and basically say he has away. And Saturn is like, "I'm a scientist too. Don't lie to me. You have your orders. Do it. Do it." And Kuma overheard the conversation. Then Kuma mentions how his life he had troubled people, and so we see and then Vegapunk's like life is just troubling people. And so we see Bonnie, her troweling around searching for Kuma. We also see when they're in Somalia Archipelago arc when Bonnie's in that restaurant, whatever. And then we see Kuma looks in and sees Bonnie, and he thinks that this is the last time he'll see her. Shortly after, so basically, so then when Vegapunk so Kuma does some Paul bubble thing that has all his memories. Vegapunk says he has a way to study it without touching it, because I guess when you touch it, you see the memories, but then it disappears. So Vegapunk has a way to store it so it won't disappear. Of course, we know that to be the bubble that Bonnie touches, and how she sees all the memories. And then when this happens, we see a flat, kind of a recap, a brief recap of Kuma's life up to this point. So his childhood, his time as a slave, his time with Jenny, his time in the revolution, basically his entire life. Like Jenny and Bonnie are shown a lot because those were the two most important people in his life. Then we see Vegapunk say, you know, it says you're troubling people because he says him dying. Well, you see tears going down Vegapunk's face because he basically had seen Kuma as a friend by this point. He tells Kuma right before he pulls the lever that him dying, that basically losing free will is basically Kuma dying. He says Kuma dying will bring trouble to everyone who loved him. Basically everyone who cared for him. So saw him as a friend, as family, whoever. So Bonnie, who Kuma had raised as his own, Vegapunk, who was his friend, everyone from the everyone from the Revolutionary Army who were friends with him. Basically, Kuma dying, losing free will, brings trouble to all of them because he's dead, in a sense. And then see him pull the lever. Vegapunk's just sobbing. And then we see Bonnie crying, which is kind of, if I recall, how that chapter in the manga ended. We see in the present, with Bonnie crying, having seen all those memories. And yeah, I will say is if Kuma does not win Best Supporting Character at the next Anime Awards, the voters are freaking retarded. or the nomination process is retarded. He should at least get nominated. Definitely get nominated and then definitely win. Like, if he's not even nominated, that is freaking retarded. Just from this, like, big flashback. Like, this episode, I'd say it's freaking Emmy worthy. Obviously, I know it ain't gonna win an Emmy. It's anime. It ain't gonna win an Emmy. We know how Hollywood is when it comes to a lot of foreign stuff. Then, yeah, dude. This is like one of the definitely most emotional episodes in the series. Because man, this is a fantastic episode. This was great. Like, such a very well written episode. Like, holy frick, was it good. So, yeah, I really like this episode. I'm looking forward to the next one because next episode, the fight should be picking up. Like, we're gonna get the fight against Saturn really picks up. Like, as Frankie said about Kuma, well, as Frankie said about Brooke, I will say this about Kuma. That guy is a man. One Piece chapter 1154. So in this one, we continue like the big flashback. So we see some of Loki's life growing up. Basically, his mother had basically throw him out because of his eyes look like demon eyes or whatever. And Harald does care for Loki. He cares for his son. He's like the only person on the island who actually cares about him. But it seems that he does it seems like he doesn't know about the devil eyes. Like, cause all these told like basically Loki had been blamed for a bunch of stuff. So like all the basically they call it the curse of Loki. So there was like a whole food like a famine issue. So there's like civil war. Harald comes back, basically forces everyone to get along, and he brings like food from friends that he had made from other nations. And he says, "Hey, if these nations need help, we'll give it freely." And Loki's like just sad, like he just never smiles. And basically like what happened, how what really pissed off Ferrell was when Hadridin was some people wanted to sacrifice Hadridin as like a sacrifice to since he's Loki's brother. And then Hadrian obviously seems to have some anger issues due to like he be seen as an like there's a basically he's seen as an illegitimate child. Well, I mean technically he is one because Harald and Ida weren't married, so yes, he is an illegitimate child in that respect. No, but Harald still cares for both his sons. Yeah. Then basically Drool asks Harald about something that happened at the reverie, and then basically Harald was trying to talk to the council, but no one would talk to him. Basically, there was some other royal who he asked to help him slip inside, but the council wouldn't listen to him. So then there's some murder that happened there. Then Drool asked about the Gallia band, basically, the giant shipwrights that, wield hammers. And then basically they've been taken prisoner. Yeah. And then basically Harald wonders the world government did it, like captured him. Jewel says he knows that that they know that there is an enemy in the distant past, but they don't know who it is. And then Harald wonders what the ancient, I guess, enmity was, like who was their enemy. And then basically Jewel talks about there's a rumor stories about an army of giants that were frozen in ice somewhere. I mean, because I guess the giants have been seen as threats to the world for years. And apparently, I guess we see some flash forwards for Loki. See Loki like, he's being taken care of by his mother's like brother, looks like. So I guess a lucky horse dies, then the regent dies, and the regent was, you know, Estrida's brother. Then so Geralt like creates a bunch of branch routes in Elbath, helping unite the country, help establish trade. Basically, Geralt's dream is to basically be connected to every other country and for giants to be able to live all over the world. And then Hydrogen's happy about it. Then someone mocks him. It's like you're not the king. Why are you so happy? You're not the king's real son. Loki's the prince. You're just an illegitimate child. And so then basically Harald leaves, and then Loki starts a rampage. Then Hydrogen fights back. Loki mocks him, says, "Yeah, but Loki doesn't really respect Harald. At least he's not shown. At least not openly. And basically, Loki's a lot bigger than Hydrogen. And basically, like, Hydrogen's friends try to help him up. And basically, like, despite all the damage he caused, Loki could never like. Basically, he always felt like he had like a hole like in him because he's like alone, and he's sad because he can't even die. Then he hears like some voices of someone falling on the island. So basically the Rocks pirates have landed on Elbath, and it's revealed that the person who Geralda met at the reverie was Rox D. Zebek, who killed the admiral and fled, which led to the and he has a large bounty. And it's revealed that Zebek is the father of Blackbeard. Now it says at this point, future captain of the Rocks Pirates. So we see like no, there's some with it. We see Whitebeard, we see Shiki. I believe that's Buckingham Stussy as well. So we don't see Big Mom, Kaido, um, Captain John. We don't see any of that. We don't see any of them. And so Zebek asked if if he's on Elbaf and he's wondering if Harald's there. So obviously Zebek knows Harald, and with him being Blackbeard's father, that's a big freaking deal because that could explain a lot of things. Could lead to a lot. One, basically could mean that Zebek is very evil. I mean, most people could have expected that to be the case. There was always possibility that what's known about Zebek could be a lie from the government. Now, based on Whitebeard's words, probably not the case. He probably was evil, and there's various theories about him, but no. And the Zebek being Blackbeard's father has been a theory for years. It's been a theory that's tossed around for a while. for like basically probably since like Zebek was first revealed. But yeah, overall, I really like this chapter. I'm looking forward to the next one. News Exorcist, Chapter 106. So in this one, Gakuro's group goes over how to fight Suzaku. So it's revealed that since it's while Suzaku is resurrected, where she's incomplete due to it being early, so she's not immortal. So what the plan is now, Shitatsu brings up that issue should not be trusted, and then basically, then the plan. So whatever once that's settled, once the plan is for during the wedding for everyone to attack Suzaku to basically take her out. Then Suzaku calls Issue saying she suspects that News planning to attack, and now Issue asks for Gakuro's companions to be allowed to live. So basically, there's a bunch of practice runs, and then so basically the plan is for once Suzaku, who's officially away, says you may kiss the bride, all that stuff. They're in the wedding. Then it's the time to strike. So when now Suzuki was aware of that, but then when she does that, someone drops, but then there's like a ice attack that destroys wares. And it's supposed to be a doll created by Issue. And Issue realized she guessed right that she knew that she suspected that Suzuki was not going to let them live. So Issue is like defying Suzuku, says if she should want to rely on Suzuku and basically tricks in order to get Gakuro to like her. She wants to do it on her own. All the servants are shocked. Then Suzuku's like really pissed off, and then the ice sculpture, the head of the ice sculpture falls off. Then Issue just destroys the entire ice sculpture. So then there was that Issue gave them everyone an opening, and then basically so everyone's there. So New arrives. And says that she objects to the wedding. Then Gakuro's like, she just wanted to say that. But I'm sure that is the reason. Dude would totally do it for that reason. So yeah, overall, I like this episode. This is definitely more of a This chapter is definitely more of a back to form because it's actual combat, not a bunch of romance nonsense. Like, yes, finally some combat. Let's go. So yeah, I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. The Elusive Samurai, Chapter 211. So this one, Tadayoshi, goes back to Tokiyuki's camp. Then everyone talks, so like basically he reconciles with all of them. And so there's like a funny bit where Suwa Yor Yoritsugu, so like there's where he takes a bunch of different names based on the situation, basically like something where some noble will grant part of their name to someone for a task as like repayment for a task. So basically Yoritsugu has done that a lot. There's a running gag in the where like a Shizuku will change like the character of it to read like for whatever the new name is to have it read to look like Yoritsugu because a lot of the military commanders' names they're hard to remember because a lot of them are sound similar and they change a lot. And apparently, I guess she gets a lot of complaints about it. And it says we get complaints, so I can't. So I don't know if that's out now. I don't know if that's a joke regarding like the foot soldiers like not being able to remember, or if that's a joke about the readers saying that it's a fourth. I don't know if it's like a fourth wall joke. It could be a fourth wall joke because I think I think like Suwa, Yorishige like made that would make fourth wall jokes as well. Which that one was so freaking funny. Man, may Yorishige rest in peace. That was a sad death. Anyway, but so what basically what's happening here is so after that, Suzuku explains that to Tadayoshi that there's like some evil being, like deity possessing like Takaji. That's explained. And then there's like a joke where so Gemba makes a joke. The reason Tadayoshi lost because ordinary people can't be perverts. Tadayoshi's like, what are you talking about? And so he's like, what kind of pervert is victorious? And Gemba's like, what's the dirtiest thing you do with your wife? And I guess in Gemma's mind, you have to be kind of a pervert to be a ruler. I guess that's in reference to Tokiyuki and his three wives. There's definitely a lot of weird stuff in what they do in the bedroom. Like, it's heavily implied there's some weird crap that goes on. And so he's like, promise you will not recoil in shock. And Gemma's like, okay. And so Tayoshi says that inside an ox cart, Noah was around. He asked if he could lay his head on her lap. Basically, that's the dirtiest thing he did with his wife. Everyone was like, really? Oh, like this is. Oh, like this dude is so good natured. No, they're all dudes are all like, oh, adorable. Me, I'm like, wait, didn't he have a kid though? And so yeah, Suzuku are like, so you have like it's just funny. This whole bit, everyone's reacting to it. That bit was funny. And apparently, I guess like two of the servants knew that that Tayoshi he was definitely a little more good natured than a lot of the others. So basically, he's basically the reason so Tokyo realized that the reason Tayoshi was able to lose his grip on like the political side of things because like due to how honor he is, how he's not greedy, he's soft and he was able to be manipulated easily. So then that's when they get into all the stuff about the deity possessing Tayoshi. Tayoshi's shocked because it sounds unrealistic, but it does explain a lot of things. And so then Tayoshi remembers conversation with like with like with talk with his with Takaji's son um Yoshiakira. So Tayoshi's like, oh, so the spirit's responsible for all his Karos and slovenly behavior. Suzuki's like, no, he's always been this way. The being possessed by doesn't change personality, but a lot of life choices will be evil. And basically, to the deity, anyone who poses a threat will be will die. So it basically revealed that when Tadayoshi got a victory, an illness killed his heir. So basically, Togi says they got to drive the deity out of Takaji, and then basically so that they can defeat him. So yeah, I really like this chapter. That was really good setup for the rest of the. Looks like for near the end. Like I think we're near the end as far as battles go. So yeah, I really like this chapter. The humor was funny. Like it was funny. So yeah, I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Kagurabachi Chapter A6. So in this one, Samura's eyes have like healed. So he's like able to see. So he sees Yori, sees Chiro, and then he agrees to like help Chihiro. Basically, I guess he apologizes to everyone. Then if they get everyone gets notification that the Hishaku are attacking Kaminabi headquarters. So everyone, I guess, agrees to go. I guess help protect Kaminabi headquarters. So they're all gonna start fighting the Hishaku. So yeah, and basically deal with like the big time sword bearer who's like really evil, like the sword master. So yeah, I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, chapter 52. So in this one, it's just Kiyoshi fighting Otr Roth. See them doing some attacks. So Otr Roth like powers up and like starts briefly like really damaging like Kiyoshi, but then Kiyoshi gets a big attack in. And Otr Roth is just he's just enjoying the whole thing. So yeah, I mean that's really it. It's just showing some of their battle. I mean, I don't know how many chapters this fight's gonna be. But overall, I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Ichi the Witch, chapter 42. So in this one, Ichi has I guess while he's dreaming, has like a conversation with all the magics under his control. Bakugami's a little pissed off, and then Ichi says, "Hey, when I fight the World Hater magic, first thing I'm gonna do is throw you at it." Bakugami's like, "Wait, what? Me attack the World Hater? No." And then Ichi's like, "You will, cause I'm your master." So he basically Ichi puts his foot down, says, "You'll do what I say." And then basically like he wakes up, then he talks with Gokuraku, Deskaras, and then basically they're taking him to the uh Mantinal Witches Association, who and to meet with him because a lot of them are not happy with him because he was on the association's dangerous persons list. So that's something they're gonna have to deal with. It looks like next chapter is when they're gonna deal with it. And yeah, so yeah, I like this chapter. It's a good setup for what's next for Gokuraku, for him hope probably getting removed off the dangerous persons list and just be like a traveling companion for Ichi. So yeah, I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Nice Prison, Chapter 12. So in this one, Mitsuboshi has won the Model Prisoner contest. That causes Dark Model Prisoner to go freaking crazy. Goes into like a super mode, like a dark Model Prisoner, and he starts attacking. And then basically the Dark Ball chain is like, all right, now basically she had wanted that to happen, and basically she had like does something that causes them, I guess, Terra and Mitsubishi to see like Dark Ball Prisoner's memories. And basically we see Mitsuboshi's memories. Like she wants to guess take over Mitsuboshi. Then Mitsuboshi turns like a super mall prisoner, basically Super Saiyan, and is able to fight him off. and then and and then basically that ends what we see here is like what happens the end is like so Dark Ball Chain, like I guess I don't know, like is launched towards towards a dark model prisoner. And I guess the whole bit they act like dark model prisoner and dark model chain like accidentally kiss whatever from the glasses, and then dark model prisoner is knocked out. Which is mostly like, oh, looks like he's shocked. Like either he's like in a some like a flow, the flow, whoever, or he's like shocked or something. But yeah, it basically dark model prisoner is defeated. So maybe we'll allow before we know like where the super death row prisoner is. Overall, I like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Otr The Flame Chapter 10. So this one, Otr fights Bladehorn, and like the duel just looks awesome. Like if this is a series that gets made to an anime, this duel will look incredible. So we fight, then Bladehorn holds Syndra hostage and basically asks for Otr to join the Ice Kingdom army, or else he'll cut off all Syndra's fingers. Otr gets really pissed off, and like basically like it's like he's faster and more powerful than before because the fingers that were frozen are like tools that the dwarves value just as much as their lives, as Otr puts it. And then Otr like he melts the ice in the forge and reignites it like all in one shot. And then basically he starts basically Blayhorn is very shocked. It's like, oh crap. So Otr's like very powerful right now. So basically it's about to be a beatdown. Otr's about to beat the crap out of Bladehorn. But yeah, overall I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Harukaze Mound Chapter 5. So in this one, the team gets to their first opponent, which is Saishin Gakusha. And so how the game was arranged, so Ibuki knew Yoshizawa, who's like I guess a first year there. Basically they were teammates in elementary school, and basically he used to look up to Ibuki, but due to the gap in his record, due to injury, basically the time for admiration, as the guy put it, had passed. And he like Nagaharu overhears like Other saying that to a guy, and he says, "Okay, by the time the game ends, you'll still you'll respect Ibuki again. You realize he's still good." And then basically Nagaharu's the pitcher, and then basically the game starts. So the way the and then we see the batting order and lineup. So basically the batting order is, and we see all the stars. So the batting order is batting for the team. For batting first, you have Kippei Wakamori, second base. Then it's Maisuke Urushibara, shortstop. Third, Kingo Yanagi at first base. Fourth, Ibuki Hayama, catcher. Fifth, Sutomi Kikunaga at third base. Sixth, Yuma Hodaka, center field. Seventh, Eiji Okusa, right field. Ninth, eighth, Saku Nadane, left field. Ninth, Nagiharu Kusumi, pitcher. You have Iroha Minase as a reserve. So you have basically the first game. The game starts between Hina Zakura and Saishin Gakusha. Then the game starts. So And so Olaru, who's a right fielder, is first up to bat. Mynoghra pitches, and Olaru hits the home run on the first pitch. And I guess he does like a backflip to celebrate. I'll say he is lucky he's not doing that in the MLB, or else he would get pegged the next time he batted. Because in American baseball, the MLB, if a base runner did that during the home run trot, they would get pegged the next uh, time they bat. That would happen. And so, Ibuki tells Nagiharu that Olaru also does decathlon to help train for baseball, and then that allows him to be like a five-tool player. Then basically everyone tells Nagiharu. Basically, Ibuki notices that Nagiharu was overexerting, and that caused the ball to rise. Nagiharu didn't even notice, and Ibuki said, "Hey, don't worry about it. Just deal with it. Just worry about the next pit. Like, worry about it." Nagiharu's like, "All right, that's fine. I'm used to being." Basically, it's like he's used to batters heinous pitches, from his hat, like when he was sucking. Then, all right, Ibuki's like, "All right, let's just get back to it." So yeah, I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Ekiden Bros, Chapter 3. So in this one, Nobu arrives at as new college. And then basically he meets this like one person at I guess some local like convenience store. Apparently all the Odani University track runners I guess use that convenience store a lot. And then he's shocked to realize that college students are adults. And basically he doesn't want to be late, and then he comes across Hara, who he raced in a previous race, like in the first chapter. Turns out they're both doing long distance running. Then yeah, so basically they talk for a little bit. They're kind of shocked that basically this lady like loses her purse is stolen. Nobu decides to then Nobu says go after like go the lady says he's too skinny I guess scare him to catch him. Nobu says he'll and so he gets basically takes like his son and runs in only his track outfit. And then basically he's able to catch up to them, and he like basically stays with them until they run out of stamina. Then he takes them back. They're kind of shocked by how fast he is and how much stamina he has. Like, and he's still like not even winded when he takes them back. So Hara is like shocked about that. So yeah, the lady apologizes for basically calling him skinny and all that. And he's like, "All right, thank you." And then basically, they all get to practice, and so yeah, thought this was a decent chapter. It's a okay series. Overall, I thought it was a decent chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Ping-Pong Peril Chapter 2. So in this one, it's revealed that the Mutsuki paid off Tyra's entire $1 billion billion yen debt, which shocks Tyra. Then she said, basically says that you're just gonna have work for her. She tells Tyra that he'll have to work for her and basically win all the ping pong. And then you know, basically Tyra says he's been hiding stuff. The fact that he's doing that, the ping pong peril from his sister Momo. You know, then he meets his next opponent, which is at like some local bar. Then his opponent is the bartender Hidemune Mizuki. And, basically, Mizuki gives him an orange juice to drink because Tyra's too young to drink. So then they start their game. And also one of the reasons it's like basically didn't give him alcohol because he doesn't want to get a kid drunk before a game because it wouldn't feel right to give himself an advantage like that. Then they start the game with so the basically the countertop like for the bar is gonna serve as like the ping pong table. Basically the four and Tyra's like, wait, what? He's like, that can't be right. Then Mizuki's like, the fourth rule of ping pong peril. It's ping pong as long as you have a flat surface, a ball, and paddles. So we're good. Basically, and then Mizuki explains that ping pong was originally invented by English nobles, 19th century, as like a way to play tennis when it was raining outside. So, he sets up the net, and then he apparently some of the old ping pong balls were made from champagne corks. So basically, he has a champagne cork ping pong ball, and basically, they start playing, and Tyra's able to like adjust some, but like due to like the way like the feet like the due to how the table is, there are some issues with having to go right to left, be on the left side or right side. Then Mizuki's able to win because like able to go ahead 2-1 due to just how to how he basically he gets his Tyra stuck on on one side where he can't get over cross over. And basically says since Tyra's beginner he's able to predict them very easily how he does things very easily. And Tyra's shocked that Mitsuki's actually good dude because he thought he would go against a bunch of like crazy people. And it seems that Mitsuki does have some dark past or something. And so the reason he's doing it is because it's to pay for hospital bills for his daughter because of a disease that could not be cured in Japan. So she's in the U.S. and he probably basically said if he was responsible, he would sell the bar to help pay for it. But it's a bar he got from his father. He inherited from his father, so he can't bring himself to do it. So Tara wonders if it's okay for him to win, but then he's like, so and seems that possibly who knows if Mizuki was actually telling the truth. Seems like he was telling that to get him to Tara to consider giving up. But who knows if it's true? Tyra says, "Screw it, I'm gonna win," and he's like, "I don't care about your daughter." So so it seems like it could have been a bluff. But overall, I really like this chapter. I thought the way the ping pong game started was cool, and I look forward to the next chapter. Paco Springer, Mynoghra, episode 2. So this one, Takuto and Otto meet the Dark Elves again. So the old elder Dark Elf meets him, and basically since the Dark Elves, the older Dark Elf is a little concerned of what the price is. So they when the Dark Elves go get more food, and then basically they're like so what ends up happening like they're shocked at how nice Takuto is Takuto is so and Otto is like basically kind of evil but still like just simping over Takuto, which is just funny. So basically what happened is Takuto's idea is to have the Dark Elves fall under his rule in the nation of Mynoghra. And then, in the map, it's revealed that there are two good aligned kingdoms that basically vastly outnumber. Looks like Mynoghra, which is technically evil aligned, despite not actually being evil. So yeah, then the Dark Elves start doing their stuff. Different that's like how to grow, like build, like do some reforesting to help restore a forest after buildings are built. So that they don't lose the trees. They have plenty of resources. And then yeah, I thought it was funny. We see how like the Dark Elves start acting like as subjects. It seems that like falling under an evil like kingdom has made them more evil in the sense. And yeah, just due to the way like seems like some of their personality, but they like worship Takuto. But yeah, overall, I thought this was I thought this was funny. That was a good. That was good. I thought the interaction with Otto and Takuto were hilarious. So I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Gachiakuta episode 2. So in this one, Rudo comes across these giant trash monsters, and he comes across Engine who lives down there in that area. So basically, and Rudo basically by rage is able to kill the two monsters, and then Engine like you know destroys a bunch of them, and then we see yeah. Then Rudo's captured, and then like let's see basically how he so like there's some stuff that's like they basically throw him in this trailer, put some trash, some show in his mouth. Fortunately, then Rudo still eats it. He's like, hey, it's edible, and he bites this dude's skin off, where you see the bone. It's like what the frick. Then we see him use some get angry again, use some powers to like destroy stuff. So it's revealed that basically those who care about objects are able to use the souls that form inside them as power. So yeah, we see him do that. So we're and shown that basically yeah. So this is and basically they call like as Rudo's people where he's from they call them spherites. But yeah, holy frick. I didn't remember Rudo eating someone's part of someone's skin. I did not remember that. It's been a while since I read that chapter, but I do not remember that. But yeah, I thought this was a really good episode. Looking forward to the next one. UglyMug EpicFighter episode 2. So in this one, Seika is shown to be very innocent, kind of a little Not she doesn't have a lot of common sense, as Shigeru notices. So yeah, so then what we see here is, and basically, so she touches his clothes, the Dragon Monk, so it doesn't hurt him. So it's not like the whole damage thing, which she doesn't know about. He probably should explain that. So he kind of thought that as a joke, whatever. Then they meet up with the other two. So then we see, like, so during this whole then they meet this fifth guy who reincarnated. Basically, there was a bunch of other people reincarnated as well in there. And I'll say the animation does improve with, like, the background. It does improve. So in the four of them, they're, like, conned by this guy. But before him, so it's real that the other, it's, it's revealed that, so the other, like, male in, like, in the group is, like, say, like, Seiji, who's, like, basically, like, the other dude, like, it's revealed that he had met Shigeru in previous life. So basically, Seiji basically left school or something, formed a company that was successful. Shigeru had made a pitch for before, and I guess whatever he said to Seiji stuck with Seiji, so he, like, guess was able to, like, relax more, let the employees handle a lot of stuff. That allowed the company to be publicly traded. But an accident involving AI bankrupted the company. Then, but he said while he's in this world, he's gonna remember the words that Shigeru told him. He doesn't want to let anyone down. And so yeah, we and, like, whenever the whole group attacks him, Seiji goes into, like, some angel form. So probably some bonus thing he got. So he and Shigeru start fighting off those, like, thugs. Overall, this is a definite improvement over season over the previous episode. Yeah, I thought this. Yeah, so yeah, this definite a improvement. So yeah, overall, I thought it was a good, decent episode. Looking forward to the next one. Hotel Inhumans episode 2. So in this one, see the concierge is doing their stuff. Then I guess the assassin of the week is this guy named Kase. So he goes around Kill He's married to this lady named Asami, and basically, so on the 10th anniversary, basically, so Kase, like, he has a cover story to, like, where he's on a trip, but basically the day of he and his wife's 10th anniversary, and basically his wife's, like, the only one he can't read, like, he can't, like, he doesn't know what she's thinking. And Kase's he doesn't understand how, I guess, why his wife cares for him and all that, but he does care about his wife. And then so, and he would seem to be good friends with Ikuro and Sarah. And so Kase kills a target. Basically, he kind of impersonates the target and he looks close up to him in order to, like, gets go kill the guy. Then he gets stabbed by someone who was wanting to kill that guy. Now, before that happened, before, like, he, like, gets killed, if he gets stabbed, he actually comes across his wife, who first thinks it's him, and then realizes it's the, well, she was right that it was him, but and looks at him and is like, "Oh wait, no, sorry, you're someone else." And then, like, he remembers that it's the 10th anniversary, so he wants to get back. Then he gets stabbed in a back alley, and we ends with, like, with him, like, bleeding out. Yeah, and then, like, one thing, like, what happens at the beginning? So Sarah's basically crazy, like, Ikuro for thinking that all the assassins there doing it for like good reasons. Like they all have some motives, but she's like, no, some of them are just doing it for money or revenge or whatever, or the pleasure of killing. There's not all these are going to be like some good natured people. Yeah. And then, so yeah, I thought this was a really good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Dekin no Mogura, the Earthbound Mole, episode 2. So, I guess this airs on Sundays, at least as far as US is concerned. So I saw it on the first episode last Monday, but out those like I just didn't know it was on Sunday in the US, where it was a, 'cause it was definitely Monday in Japan. So, either we got this one early or it's technically Sunday for as far as America is concerned. Then, so yeah, this one basically so there's a new coworker for Ye, whose name like this coworker is a high schooler named Shio. So Ye's jealous because Shio has significantly larger boobs than she does. As she puts it, she calls Shio's boobs the Swiss Alps while Ye refers to herself as the Kanto Plains because she's flat. I'm not kidding. That's actually what happens. I was laughing so hard. And then so and then oh man. And so Maki like notices like some spirits around her, around Shio. Then he tells Mogura basically it's really basically all the go basically so yeah, as we know a bunch of people were staring at Shio. Now some people think it's because of Shio's looks. Mogura thinks it's because people do stare at presences, so there's a bunch of spirits surrounding Shio that would also draw people to stare at her. And so Mogura deals with the spirits, and she was very accepting of it. I guess Mogura says women are more likely to accept it, the whole spirit stuff, than men are, because men will either, if they're either occult fanatics or they'll either extremely deny it or just require a good explanation. Now there's this one really hard spirit that's still around that an exorcist friend of Mogura's has to deal with, so we'll see. Should see next week about this exorcist. Now what's funny in the beginning is how Mogura explains that. So I guess he's been around for a while, so we don't know exactly how old he is. So he was drafted in World War II, and I guess it caused problems for him. So Monkey's like, wait, how old are you? So basically, he's been around since so Mogura seems to have been around since at least the Edo period. Yeah, so he's been around for a while. And so Mogura was like, apparently he likes to record cassette tapes because you don't need Wi-Fi to use a cassette tape. And then yeah, I thought this was a so yeah, all the interaction between Baki and Mogura, yay, that was just all funny. Then the jokes about comparing Shio, yay, that was just funny. So yeah, I've only read I think one chapter of the manga on like the K manga app, so I don't know necessarily if Shio's gonna continue to play a role, or this was just a one time, like a one arc thing. But but it might be. But like overall, I liked this episode. The humor was great, and I look forward to the next episode. Well, and that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that.
and look forward to the next video.